Hello, book amigos. It is Gray here, and we are back with a brand new video. Today we are going last minute Christmas shopping, and I am hoping to get a writing session in because I have been neglecting both reading and writing, and it's okay. It's the holidays, so I'm not being too hard on myself, but I do want to get in a good writing session. So, with that being said, we're going to do a mini writing session right now because we're not ready to go quite yet. It looks like it's dark outside, but it's still early. It's only 5 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. And yeah, I watched a video a few days ago, I think it was, and they said, don't try to be like everybody else when it comes to vlogging. Just do you. Pick up the camera when you desire and all that good stuff. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So instead of thinking, oh my God, it's already 5 p.m. and there's no point in me vlogging anymore, I'm going to pick up the camera because I feel like this is the right time to do it for me specifically. So that's what I'm doing. And I hope you guys stick around for the rest of the video. And let's get the first writing session of the day done. Alright, I am still sitting in the same spot, but I have my laptop, and I think I have everything I need. I have my notebook, just to take notes of things, because I tend to not take notes, and I forget main stuff that I write about, and just things like that, so I want to keep track. I'm trying to do things a little tiny bit different this time around, but yeah, let's get the show on the road. Writing session number 1. Plans have changed. Instead of writing session number 1, we are now headed to do last minute Christmas shopping. I feel like it's gonna be super duper hectic, but that's okay. All right, friends, we have made it to Hobby Lobby, and we are looking at the Christmas decor they have left, and we came across some dinosaur stuff, and my child is obsessed with dinosaurs, so much so that he has one in his hand. Check this out. What is that?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, the beauty of being a child. I love it. I love it. Hello, book amigos. I am back. Needless to say, I flopped. The last clip of me is at Hobby Lobby, and now I am home. After Hobby Lobby, we went to Skechers, and then we went to, which I did find gifts there. At Hobby Lobby, we didn't find gifts, but I found random stuff. I found a Christmas hat. Oh, I should be wearing it. Oh well. So we went to Skechers, and then we went to Raising Cane's, and then we went to Target. We did a Target pickup, and let me tell you, that was chaos. It was insane. I've never seen the pickup, drive up thing that hectic before. And it was also kind of funny and enjoyable, like a guilty pleasure, I guess, of seeing people get so frustrated for nothing, because honestly the wait was about 15 to 20 minutes. Not a big deal, get over it, like these people are slammed with drive up orders that they have to get out. They have to make sure they're doing it right. They have to double check everything. So I don't know, it was kind of entertaining seeing people get upset, because it was like, dude, chill, you're waiting an extra 10 minutes, relax. I think we were there for maybe 20 to 30 minutes for sure. And then when we got our stuff, we almost got caught by the child. And by caught, I mean we were picking up his Christmas gifts because we had not bought him his Christmas gifts. So he was looking out the window when the lady brought the stuff, and he was trying to like, ooh, what did she got? What she got? So I had to, what's it called? Entertain him, change his focus, make him look somewhere else, and then we got the stuff in the car. Well, she got the stuff in the car because we just opened the trunk and asked her if she can put it in there. And then after that, we went to Dutch Brothers, and I still have a little bit of my Dutch Brothers. It still has ice. And my go-to order for anybody who cares is a iced Golden Eagle, half sweet and sugar-free. And I add whipped cream to it. I love it. It is my favorite drink there. I find that Dutch Brothers is on the sweet side, so I will take that one. It is sweet. It is my, I call it my period coffee because when I'm gonna get my lady days, I crave sweetness. So that's typically when I get that order. But that is a quick recap of everything we did. And I didn't vlog. And the reason I didn't vlog, I don't even know if I said this, is because I have no other excuse other than I forgot. I know. What an amateur vlogger. But it's okay. Here we are. Also, this thing, I feel like my desk needs to go a little bit higher. So it's like eye level. Or maybe I need to move this. Let's see what happens. Ooh, se movió. Okay, whatever. That will work. I don't like this light, so I need to figure out the light situation here. And I think I've said that at least 10 times in this video already. Alrighty, so before I left earlier, I was going to do a writing session. So I'm going to do that right now. I think I'm going to do, you know what? Hold on. I had this plan. So remember the other day when I answered a few questions about authors' backgrounds that I found on Google? Well, and by found, I mean it's the same little questionnaire thing, but it's like subcategories. So the subcategory for this one is the writing process. And since I'm going to do a writing sprint, I would like to answer a few questions as I go along. So I'll probably set a, 10-15 minute timer. And then obviously I'm going to speed it up for you guys. I'll answer a question, 15-20 minute timer. And then I'll answer another question. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I will do 2 questions. And then that way I'll get 3 writing sprints done because it is, well, now it's Tuesday, but Monday, my favorite podcasters release their episode, and I want to watch that before I go to bed. And typically, their podcast is about 2 hours long. For those of you who have not watched Seis de Copas, girl, I love it. Me encanta ver ese podcast. Está genial. O sea, you're going to cry, you're going to feel seen, you're going to feel all kinds of things. Those girls, Fernanda, Monica, Pris, Diana, Maria, and Marisol are amazing. I love Seis de Copas. So yes, I am going to share that with you guys because if you haven't, it is a podcast in Spanish, but if you haven't yet and you want to watch a good podcast, I say watch because I watched the YouTube version of it. Go now. Well, not now. After my video's over, go check out Seis de Copas. It's amazing. It's stellar. Está genial. Delicioso. Okay. Anywhoosie, I noticed I'm starting to say but a lot, so I'm trying to get out of that, especially when I'm going to end a clip. I need to figure out how to transition from clip. Maybe it's not a clip thing, but like topic to topic. So let's get on to the first question. These are questions about the writing process. So the first question is, what is your typical writing routine like? And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to give you 2 versions of this. I don't know what that was. Version number 1, a writing session at home. And version number 2, a writing session at Barnes & Noble. One day I will take you guys with me to Barnes & Noble, but for now, I'm just going to describe it to you. So, if I am going to write at home, I let my fiance know, hey, you're on baby duty, I'm going to go write, and I end up in the kitchen trying to get a snack or something to drink. Typically, I get coffee, but I bring in my coffee, and I also bring in my water. Funny part, though, is I don't really drink my water. I drink my coffee most of the time. Can you blame me? Nope. Good choice. So then, I come into my office, I close the door, I sit down, and I open everything. This is important. If my laptop is not charged, I will put it on the charger, close it, and I won't write. My writing session is over. I wait until my laptop is charged. I don't know why I don't like typing and using it while it's charging, so that's just the way it is. Now, on my phone, on the other hand, I don't mind at all. I don't mind if it's charging or whatever. Okay, if my laptop is charged, I sit down, I open my document, and I start writing. That's it. I do have a notebook here, and I have jotted some notes down because I've learned from my first novel, from writing my first novel. I did learn some lessons, so I try to write things that I think are insignificant, but that are things that I'm going to forget and I'm going to have to remember. So I jot them down, and that's that. Or if I have questions, if I'm second guessing something, for example, dialogue tags or things like that, then I write it down. Look this up. Look this up. Just random things like that. So like here, I have questions about how to incorporate text messages into my novel and the correct punctuation, if you will. So I was reading The Christmas Tree The Christmas Tree Farm, and it has text message format in there, so I wrote a little note on here. I put The Christmas Tree Farm novel has text message format on page 47. So that's the kind of stuff that I write in my notebook. Very random. And then I'll write and I'll watch a YouTube video or play a YouTube video in the background or something, some sort of noise, because if it's quiet, I get distracted very, very easy. I also take breaks while doing my writing sessions, and I'll focus on the YouTube video, or I do a little something that I don't think I've shared with y'all. I mean, I've shared my like of it, but I don't think I've shared this with you. I do my cross stitch, and this is what I'm working on right now. It's beautiful. It's a book with a coffee cup, and I cannot wait till I'm done with it so you guys can see the finished product. I do want to do a video where I'm listening to Fourth Wing and cross stitching and reacting to Fourth Wing. But that's a typical writing session routine thing at home. When I go to Barnes & Noble, because I like to go to Barnes & Noble and write there, typically I packed everything up and I drive to Barnes & Noble, I order coffee, and I sit in the same, you know what? Typically I sit in the same seat, now that I think about it. But I don't browse around Barnes & Noble first. I just go straight to the cafe and I order and I take a seat. Sometimes I take a seat and then I go order. And I look around and I wonder what everybody's doing. I wonder who else is in there writing a novel other than me. And I write. I set my timers or whatever I'm doing. I put my headphones on, listen to music, and I write. I'm usually there typically for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'm on and off. I do take breaks. I stand up, I stretch, I walk around. I walk around in the same area. I don't leave the cafe because once I leave the cafe, it's game over. I'm not focusing anymore. So that's what I do. And I don't know if I should admit this or not, but typically when I leave Barnes & Noble, it's because I have to use the facility. I have to go to the bathroom. And I don't like packing up my stuff and walking to the back of the store to use the bathroom and then walking all the way back. So I just pack up my stuff, get in my car, and come home. I also don't live very far away, so it works out that way. But those are my 2 writing routines. The second question is, do you outline your story beforehand or write organically? The answer to this is I write organically. I don't outline, I don't anything. And the reason for that is because I can think that I want my story to go a certain way. And fact of the matter is that once I'm on the roll and I'm typing and I'm doing all the things, sometimes depending on the scene that I'm writing, I feel like my mood is affected. So if I'm writing a scene where the main character is upset or she's feeling or he is feeling a certain type of way, I feel like I feel that way. And I also, fun fact, I notice that when I'm typing. If it's a happy scene, my typing it just flows. It's like do 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 do. But if it's an angry scene, it's like da 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 da. And yeah, I've noticed that. But anywho, I feel like depending on the mood, so I can have an idea of what I want to execute, but it doesn't happen that way. So in order to avoid feeling like I have this idea and I have to stick to it, I avoid having any sort of outline of any kind. I start making my outlines. So I finish the first draft, my manuscript, first draft, completely done. I put it aside. I come back and I read it. And as I'm reading, I do chapter 1 and I'll do the outline for chapter 1, chapter 2, and I'll do the outline, and so on and so forth. So that's when I start to do the outline, and that's when I start to jot down information that I think is important and things that I forgot. Because writing chapter 1 and writing chapter 35 can be in a span of a month or in a span of 6 months, a year. Who knows? It just depends on how long it takes you to write whatever it is you're writing. So yeah, I just write organically for that reason. Alrighty, my friends, so I finished that quick writing session, sprint, whatever you want to call it. I feel like my head is being chopped out, but it was a good writing session. Maybe I should have, dang it, I don't know how many words I got in. Let me see, let me try the highlighting method. I got a good I got a good 534 words done in 15 minutes. That's very impressive. It was just flowing. So there is that. Let's get into the next 2 questions. Question number 3. How do you overcome writer's block? I typically push through it. There's no real rhyme or reason to writer's block. I think writer's block is, obviously it's a mental block, but I don't think writer's block exists. I think it's just being in the right mental headspace of like, I do want to write and I don't want to write. Or being completely tuned into what you're doing. And I say this because there's times where I'm having a hard time writing and I think it's writer's block, but then I step away and I'm like, you know what? I felt like I was missing out with my child and my fiance playing outside or something, and I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be elsewhere. And there's times when, in order to get over that writer's block, if you will, you just gotta push through it. You just gotta go for it. And it's not as easy as it sounds. I know that. It's a struggle, and it can be a struggle. But I think that's just how I overcome it. Either I step away and I go do something else because I don't feel like I'm fully invested into what is placed right in front of me, or I just push through it. I really do. Like if I go to Barnes and Noble and I'm sitting there, like I went to Barnes and Noble, I went out of my way to have a writing session. So of course I have to push through it because that's just what I got to do. Because I'm there, I went out of my way, and I don't want that time to go to waste. So yeah, I just noticed I'm doing a lot of this, talking with my hands. Beep 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 beep. Hello. Beep 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 beep. Anywho, yeah. Question number 4. What is your editing process like? My editing process is like this. I write the first complete draft of my manuscript. I do minimal edits. I know a lot of people say don't edit your first draft ever, just write, because you're never going to finish if you take some time and edit. But the thing with that is sometimes I have to go back and reread stuff because I forgot what I wrote. And if I see an error, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to edit. I'm not going to let it slide. So I do that. After that, I print out my manuscript, my first manuscript. I print it out and I read it. Now, a lot of people say do a full read through and then do the edits. I don't. I really don't. I start doing edits almost instantaneously, and it's worked in my favor, so I probably will keep doing that. Another thing I do is that I print it out. I print out the first draft, the first manuscript, and instead of just fixing the errors onto my Word document, I rewrite the entire thing. So I start with a brand new document, blank document, and I type out the prologue, chapter 1, everything with the edits, not the edits. And I do that quite a bit till I get to the end. For my debut novel, I think I have I have all the rounds of edits, but I think I had 4 or 5 rounds of edits before I can do edits on my laptop. So without having to do the whole rewrite process. And I just do that because it helps me, 1, read and understand, and 2, that's the best way to catch errors for me personally. So that's what I do. I love doing line edits. Those are my favorite, going line by line by line by line. Those are definitely my favorite. And developmental. I think it's a challenge. It's like a puzzle. I love puzzles. I love playing word games, brain games, if you will. And doing developmental is like a puzzle because you want all the pieces to fall in as they're supposed to. And it's just so exciting for me to see everything start to fall in together, and it's becoming a story. It's not just word vomit anymore. It is a story, and it's being solidified. So there's nothing better than seeing everything come together and it just makes sense. And I personally love the editing process. I love beta reading for people. I love giving feedback, and I love doing all that because it's a part of the magic, if you will. It just helps put everything together, glue it together, solidify it, and then you end up with a book. And honestly, there's nothing better than that feeling when you're holding your physical book, especially when you put so much hard work and dedication into it, and then you hold it and it's like, whoa, best feeling ever. Okay, my friends, we are back. We finished another 15 minutes of a sprint write, and I found out that my time lapse feature on my little camera is only for 10 minutes of recording. So the time might be a little bit wonky because I had to start a second one. But we're learning here. We're all learning together. We are all in this together. Anywhoosie, I wrote 313 words this writing session, and that is spectacular. So we're at a total of, I don't remember what the first session was like, but I was doing a lot of what is it called, narration, I guess, and I find that a lot more difficult to write than dialogue. I love writing dialogue. I love bringing conversations to life and seeing the characters come to life and all that good stuff. I love it. But anyways, time to answer questions. So we are on question number 5. These are the last 2 questions, but this is question number 5. Do you seek feedback from beta readers or critique partners? The simple answer is yes. Wait, no. The other way. The simple answer is no. Because from my beta readers, well, it depends what feedback means in this case. So if we're talking about feedback like, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that or blah, 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 then no, I don't seek feedback because I think that's not feedback. I think that's a personal preference. Now, if we're talking about feedback like, hey, I don't understand what this character is going through, like I feel detached from the character, or where are these people? Where, like more like if they catch plot holes, then yes, I welcome all the feedback. The constructive criticism is my favorite, especially because it's coming from people who enjoy reading and who I would want and consider, who I consider to be my targeted audience. So yes, if it's feedback that pertains to character development, plot holes, and things like that, yes, I do want the feedback and I do seek for it. I have learned that for beta readers, it is useful for the author, in this instance, me, to provide a questionnaire that can be answered at the end of a beta read. So I can ask questions in terms of, did you like this character? Was the character developed correctly? Were you confused at any moment? Did you think I need to provide more background information, more background story? Do I need to make a stronger connection between, one, the content in the novel, but 2, the characters and the reader? Which this goes into question number 6. How important is character development to your writing style? And that is extremely important. Character development is the number 1 development that I focus on. And the reason I say that is because I want you, the reader of my book, to feel so connected to the main characters or just characters throughout the entire story, so connected that you start to question whether these people are real or not. And the reason behind this is because I feel like if you are connected, I feel that if you are connected to a character to that degree to where you're like, dang, I wish I knew this person in real life, or I've met someone like this, or I am like this, or they're just pulling at your heartstrings. If by any chance there is a minimal plot hole in the entire novel, it can be overlooked. Because here is where the connection is made. Here is where you want to be able, or I want to be able, to write and develop a character so much so that you fall in love with the character, whether it be a good person or not. I think it is extremely, and I cannot stress that enough. It is extremely important to have character development. At least for my writing style, I think it's extremely important. Not only my writing style, but my reading preference as well. I want to connect, and I think that is very, very important. That concludes this series of questions, which were questions about the writing process. I hope you enjoyed this portion. I love answering these questions. As you can tell, I get super passionate about this stuff. And when I do things like this, it makes me so excited that I decided to start this channel up again, because this is what it's about. I want to share my knowledge. I want to word vomit everything, and hopefully somebody who's watching this is inspired or motivated or whatever to write. Also, I don't know what is going on with my hair, but I look like a Dorcas. So yeah, let's do the last writing sprint, 15 minutes. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to do 10 minutes for the sake of the time lapse and my phone and the sake of time, because it is 1:18 in the morning. Unless I can figure out the time on my camera, we will see. We will see what I do. Well, that was that. My camera started overheating, so I had to stop the recording. I think that was a whole 6 minutes or so. I just erased a timer. So I think it was 6 minutes. I did get into what I was doing, and it's kind of crazy how much work. Whoa, excuse me. It's kind of crazy how much work can get done if you just sit down and do it. So I think where I left off, in a whole whatever amount of time that was, I did 452 words. If it's not 452 words, then it is 375, which both is good considering it was 6 minutes. So this was a successful, well, it was supposed to be 45 minutes, but it was 10, 20, 26 minutes of writing, almost half an hour. That's pretty good. That was 500, 300, and 400. That's 1,200 words, give or take. That's pretty good. Total word count for the document, I am at 14,971 words. That is spectacular. I love it. This thing, I'm still trying to figure all this out. Oops, I think that was too close to my mouth. But anywho, I think this is where I'm going to leave off this video. If you have any questions about the questions that I answered, please drop them down in the comments and ask. Maybe I'll make a video of like a Q&A of questions that you guys have asked me, because as of now, nobody has asked me anything. I'm just answering questions that I found on the internet based on the goal of you guys getting to know me a little bit better, and that way I convince you to subscribe to my channel, persuade you to subscribe to my channel. This is the kind of content that I want to be creating and that I enjoy. So yeah, it is currently December 24th, 1:38 a.m. and I believe this video is going to go up at noon. December 24th at noon. So it is Christmas Eve. So with that being said, I want to take the time to say Happy Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas Eve. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. As the Mexican American that I am, I grew up with Mexican traditions, and one of those traditions is that typically we get together on Christmas Eve to celebrate Christmas. However, this year I will not be getting together with my family until Christmas Day, so it is a little bit different for me, but it's okay. We're gonna be okay, and it's gonna be great. I am hoping to post a video on Christmas Day, but I make no promises. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the holidays and you have a great, great time with your loved ones. If you are spending the holidays alone, I hope you watched a good TV show, you had a good dinner, and you enjoyed your time with none other than you. But yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone, and I will catch you on the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all those good things. I know it's annoying for me to be saying this, but we need to get this channel up and growing, and I need your help. And if I have to remind you to please subscribe, I am, because it's going to help me in the long run. And this is just the beginning. So until next time, book amigos. Toodles!